sorry. I'm a little bit late. Okay, I'm a lot late. I thought I still had this in my calendar as 12:30, not noon. So my apologies. I had to quickly shove my kid in back in virtual school, grab my mocktail, and here we are. So let me take a sip of that. I'm going to start with just quickly introducing myself and really quickly how Beachbody came into my life. Because the reason why is because this is a super important part of how we work our business, of all of the things related to our business, because your personal start with this business matters. Like, that's a story that you should be telling, okay? So real quick version. I was a hot mess. I had, I've struggled with my weight my entire adult life. When I was 19, my best friend committed suicide. I ended up in a psych ward. They over-medicated me with psych meds. I put on 50 pounds in like 3 months. And then it just all came crashing down, and I've struggled with my weight since. I was that person that underate, over-exercised, never healthy in any of the things. And then I got pregnant, which was everything that I've always wanted. And then I had my daughter via C-section, and I was 233 pounds, and I've never been more broken. I was also an active alcoholic. I was really heavy in my depression, in postpartum depression, anxiety, all of the things. I had literally everything stacked against me, and my sister had just started Beachbody 6 months before that, and she was talking to me about it my whole pregnancy, and I was like, yeah, no. I saw a chiropractor every single day. I wasn't allowed to work out. I was in so much pain, which didn't help the weight gain. So I got T25 in Shakeology as a birthday present, split between my mom and my mother-in-law because I was on unpaid maternity leave. I told my sister I didn't want to coach. I told her I had nothing to give anyone else. I was too freaking broken myself. I'm PG here. I'm very sweary, but I'm trying to be PG in this group. And I wasn't in a good place. And even after that, my sister, who is my upline, she told me that I was so angry and negative and bitter that she didn't even want to be around me anymore because I made her feel bad about just being happy in her life. Like, I was that toxic. I was negative. I was blaming the world for my problems, and everything was happening to me and nothing was happening for me. So I started with T25, couldn't do it at all. Could not do it at all. Tanya, the modifier, she just had a baby. Yeah, that took me out of the game because I was still very much in a comparison place. 6 months later, 21 Day Fix came out, changed my freaking life. And I tell everybody because it was Kat. I needed to see somebody who looked like me. I needed to see somebody lean on her knee to get up off the floor. I needed to see those things. I couldn't see someone who had a six-pack and was going. And I know this isn't my personal journey, but it's important because my sister kept asking me about coaching, and I kept telling her no, and I kept telling her no, and I kept telling her, I'll coach when I have a transformation. I'll share when I have something that proof that this works, that I can do it. And I don't know if it was my idea or her idea or a conversation that we were having, but it all of a sudden dawned on me that if I didn't have Kat, if I didn't have somebody who was vulnerable enough to be in their journey, then I wouldn't be there. Then I wouldn't still be pushing forward, that I wouldn't be going forward. And so I knew that I could be that for other people. So I had already lost 60 pounds, but I still very much had a lot of work to do mentally, more than physical. And that is where coaching came in. It did all of the things. You guys, when I first started coaching, I came from a sales and marketing background. And I think it's important because sometimes we have this stick up our butts about oh yeah, okay, right? I know how to do this. I literally have a degree in marketing. Not that really teaches you anything, by the way. But I told my sister, and it's my sister, I don't know if you have sisters, but if you do, I'm a middle child through and through. And so my sister sent me these vital behaviors, and I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. I don't need those. Like, I don't need personal development. I don't need self-help books. Girls, I was the epitome of somebody who needed freaking personal development, and it's usually the one that we fight. So I sold a couple things. I went to a super weekend, a super Saturday at the time. I tried to do a PiYo workout because it was before it was coming, right when it was releasing, and I left halfway through. And then I came back and I asked random strangers in the hallway to take a picture with me because I didn't want to share a picture to my sister that I went to this event, and I did not talk to one person because I was still very much stuck in that place that I didn't belong there and that I didn't look like the people there. And if you've ever been to a live event, they are not like that. They are the most welcoming family that you could ever be a part of, but it was me. I was the problem. I was the problem in everything in my life, okay? And it wasn't until the next super weekend that I went to, and I share this because we just had a virtual one, and when the live events are back, you better get your booty to every single one. They have changed my life beyond measure. So January 2015, I went to a super weekend, and Carl came. And he didn't talk about sales, and he didn't talk about recruiting, and he didn't talk about numbers, and he didn't talk about any of that. He talked about changing lives. He talked about this amazing opportunity and the products that we have, and then I heard a woman stand on stage and share her story, and she came from a place that was not as broken as I was, but it was still very much broken. And I saw this woman on stage with a whole different life and a whole different attitude, and I mean, she didn't even look like the same person. And I sat there and tears started streaming down my face because I said, why not me? Like, I want to be on that stage. I want to be a success story. I want to be happy. And so I came home from that event and I messaged 2 girls in our team and I was like, I don't know what a success partner is, but I know I need one. I don't know what Team Cup is next month, but I know I need to do it. Do you want to do it with me? And they were like, sure. We don't know what those things are either, but we're in. Like, literally, these were just people in the team page that were just like, I saw them being active. That's all I knew. So we started a group chat. If you're already in a pod, right, put your new coaches in there, get them set up with success partners, new people to push with, right? So we started, go all the things that new coaches struggle with. Does this post sound good? What are you guys doing for your challenge group this week? Should we run one together? Like, all these things, right? I went from hitting Success Club once the month before. I went Emerald in December 2014, signing up my husband as a discount coach because there was a free drawing, and I will do almost anything for free stuff. And there was a drawing that month from my coach's upline. So I had hit Success Club once ever in my life, all discount coaches. That January, I hit Success Club 24. February 2nd, I went Diamond. So let me tell you how I did that, okay? So that's how we start. So if you're pushing for Diamond, it is literally a decision. Are you doing the things? Are you enjoying the business? Are you having fun in your inbox? Are you like laughing at your conversations? Because if you're not, you're missing the boat. When I dove in, when I started doing the 4 vital behaviors, when I started doing all the things, I changed. I started to change. And then when people started messaging me and I started helping other people, that was like a drug. I'm an alcoholic, remind you. That was like a drug and a high that I'd never experienced. Oh, I am also a cannabis advocate, sorry. That's my brand, that's my brand. And I even debated like changing my hoodie, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna show these girls like you are who you are. And that is it. And I wasn't that person when I first started, but I saw the potential. And even at that time, when I was so excited, when I was pushing for Diamond, I was just falling in love with the process, the business, the connections. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I didn't realize how isolating that was. I went back to work after I had Elsie, and then I quit when she was 8 months old. And 2 months later, I saw my sister in Vegas, and I was like, what are you doing? And I bought my ticket to Summit the next year. So I got to Diamond by discount coaches. Discount coaches. My husband was a discount coach on one leg. My mother is a veteran and she was drinking Shakeology. She was on my other leg. 12 discount coaches, 4 on each leg. I made my husband Emerald. I made my mother Emerald. That's how I got to Diamond. 5 weeks from when I came home and made a decision that I was going to be Diamond. And you know what else? I looked at and I said, what do I want? I want that trip. Okay, what do I need? 12 coaches per year. Done. Success Club 10 every month to pay for my room, or at least an average. Done. I didn't travel at that time. You told me I could earn a free trip, and I was like, okay, how? Don't overcomplicate it. Look at the goals, look at the things that you want, and then look at the criteria. Okay, how can I get this? Well, if law of averages, if you want to help 5 people a month, you need to at least be talking to 100, right? What is your closing ratio? Like, as a new coach, my closing ratio was not as great, so I needed to talk to more people. I literally went through the alphabet of my friends list on Facebook starting at A, and I just went through and I started messaging everybody. And it wasn't that cold invite. I mean, sometimes it was a reconnect. Sometimes it was people that I went to high school. Keep in mind, I'm an alcoholic. So the old me is totally different, which brings me to my next point. 4 months later, after that January super weekend, I went to my next super weekend, April 25th, 2015, and that is my sobriety date. I left that live event knowing that, I had listened to PD, and it started, the one thing that kept playing over and over in my mind is, what is the one thing holding you back from the person who you want to be? And for me, that was my drinking. And it was because I was starting to share my life. I was starting to be accountable. I was starting to be public. And I knew that was one thing I couldn't share. If you have something in your life that you cannot share about, you need to fix it. You need to fix it, because we are not in the business of secrets. You need to get over your shit so you can help other people get through it too. Because if you're struggling with it, so are other people. And I can't help anybody if I'm not helping myself. So I left that event and I got myself sober, and BB has been my AA since day one. And that's just a little like, whoop, whoop, right? Like, that is the power of what this business can do. Like, it has literally changed every single aspect of my life. Why would I not share that with someone? Why would I not share that, right? I got to Diamond super quick, and then I sat there for 4 years. So, what happened, right? I got to Diamond in 5 weeks, and then I sat at Diamond for like 3 or 4 years, okay? Before I went Star Diamond. And you know what? When I made the decision to go Star Diamond, it was my husband. I got my husband to Diamond. We locked it in, and I don't mean the qualification period. We locked it in 6 weeks. From when I told my team, we are doing this, 6 weeks later, we hit it. 4 years I sat there at Diamond. So let me tell you this. You can get yourself to Diamond. You can get yourself to 1 star. It isn't until 2 star that you really need other people pushing with you. So stop waiting around on anyone else, and you put your head down and get to work. And you make a decision that you are going to make it happen. You are going to find the people. You are going to stay focused. Like, are you focused? Do you know like what you're working towards? So this is team builder, team leader, premier, elite. I don't only want to be an elite coach this year for the first time ever for myself. I want to be the first one in my downline to do it. I signed on as a discount coach 6 months after my sister started coaching, and she has been coaching for 7 years. Lots of coaches have passed me up. I have not done anything first. I lost 111 pounds in my journey. I didn't even mention that because it's a side note. It's a side note for what this business has done for me. Losing 111 pounds is like, okay, that happened. It's not even the biggest thing. I broke my neck in the end of 2015. If I had not done all that work, that girl would have never made it. That girl would have never made it. She was not strong enough. I'll straight up tell you that right now. She was not strong enough to go through 2016 and fight like I did. Injections in my back every 4 to 6 weeks. I couldn't work out for 3 months as a coach. I hit that 100-pound mark while I was like right after I got my neck brace off. I wasn't even cleared to work out yet. So everything in this business, everything in my life that has happened since this business, I lean in. I have locked in Success Club for 61 months in a row. And in the last 6 years, I've only missed it 1 month. It was my birthday month. You better believe, like, every September, I'm like, okay, you lock this in the first week. I don't know why, but, like, that is now my month that I never miss. But I am super consistent, even if I'm not always building. Even if I'm not the first one to hit Star Diamond or Premiere or any of the other things, you will never see me quit. You will always see me show up in my stories. I deal with depression, I deal with anxiety, I deal with chronic pain. I deal with a lot. And you will always see it in my stories. If it's a bad depression day, you will see me crying. You will see me sharing what I'm using to get through the day. Because I'm going through it regardless. Why go through it alone? We have the tools. Like, these are the things that make you stand out. And I know we're talking about getting to diamond here, but we're also talking about helping your people. We're talking about serving your people. I am maybe one of the most authentic coaches you will ever see. Like, I literally have like no secrets. But I don't get a lot of objections when I invite people. They trust me. Like, they trust me with their lives. And that's because I don't hold back. And I think that's really important. Because something happened this year at our leadership retreat. I've been to summits. I've been to all the Success Club trips. I'm a junkie for live events and trips. So anytime there's a retreat or anything like that, I am earning my spot and I am going. I have never taken any coaches with me to summit besides my husband. I have never had any coaches go on a trip with me. I've had local coaches at super weekends because I'm obsessed with them, and you know, that is. But we went to, Summit was canceled this year, so our team did a leadership retreat. We had our Diamond retreat in this gorgeous house in Lake Norman, and the Diamond stayed in the house from Wednesday to Sunday. And then anyone who wanted to come to our team summit came into town that Friday. They stayed at a hotel. They came out Friday night. We played games. They came out Saturday, all day Saturday. We did a group workout. We had like team events. We did like Energize Flip Cup. So much fun. And we also had a portion where you walked around with your teams and you took a bunch of pictures of them for them to use for their business. And then we had a bonfire where we wrote down our limiting beliefs and we burned them into fire. We said them out loud. We burned them in fire in front of everybody. And that whole weekend, the only thing I kept thinking is, Melissa, you have been here longer than anyone and you're here alone. And you're here alone. Like, what are you doing wrong? What aren't you giving? Like, what is missing? Because like I told you, you can get to diamond by yourself and you can get to 1 star by yourself. But it gets really lonely in this business, and that's why I say you need a push partner from the beginning. And so my limiting belief that I threw in the fire was that maybe I can't even, right? Like, it's hard to admit these things, but you need to have these conversations because it's what's standing in your way. Like, what is your limiting belief about the place that you're going? For me, it was maybe you were only made to come this far. But I truly don't believe that. I believe that God put all of the pain that he did in my life for a reason, and I believe that this business gave purpose to that pain and that I was made for so much more. That I was made to be a broken example, to show broken women out there that they can be strong and broken at the same time. That their voice matters. Because I've been through it. But I've never had anything that helped me through it like this. So I came home from that retreat and I got vulnerable. And I'm always vulnerable. Like, I share all things, right? But I have never shared my failures in the business. I don't even always share my successes. I'm way better at shouting other people out than myself. But I shared how lonely it felt. I shared that I was doubting if I was really meant to do this. I shared that I needed women who were ready to show up and do hard things. Women who have been through it and they found a way and they came out stronger and they're ready to help others. I stopped looking for the 2015 Melissas, because who you are talking to is who you will attract. And while I don't mind that I attract a lot of broken disasters, because that's exactly what I was, and I'm happy to help them, but it's different with my business. I don't want a bunch of disasters that I need to hold their hand. I'm looking for the warrior women. I'm looking for the women that no matter what is put in front of them, they find a way to get through it. It may not be pretty, but they're doing it, because those are my women, right? So I started speaking differently in my coach posts and vulnerable. In my stories, I actually have a call on this I'm happy to share, because I went from being a discount coach queen, which I'm happy to share my script on that too. I literally am a discount coach queen. I hardly ever sign up customers. But I went from being a discount coach queen to finding women who want to work the business, who want to work with me, who want my leadership in their life. And that is what I needed, because I was not fulfilling that area of my life. And it felt empty. And so I don't know if it was like fear of success, or just that I didn't feel like a leader because I wasn't leading anyone. If you want to feel like a leader, just start leading someone. Just find someone for you to lead. When I brought on, I think I recruited like 8 coaches, like after that retreat. I did a coach mentorship. It was super simple. We did a little sneak peek when we were at the retreat, and then I did a coach mentorship. It was a 5-day group where I only filled 8 spots. And I said, I have 8 spots. Each spot gets a 30-minute mentorship call with me, so I have to keep it limited. And I told them they didn't even have to sign up to be a coach first. So in that group, day 1 through 4, I literally went through the bat. Day 1 was your green circle. Like, I'm obsessed with the SC Bat app. I love that they're coming out with their own, but I couldn't wait that long. I don't do pen and paper. I'm obsessed with the app. It's just SC Bat app, okay? Or SC Bat. And so we went over the green circle. As a coach, first and foremost, you take care of yourself. You show up for yourself. You cannot help others if you're not helping yourself. So we drink our Shakeology, we do our workout, we do personal development. That is an everyday thing. Whether you are a discount coach, a hobby coach, or a challenger, that circle should be filled in. Day 2 was the purple. So we talked about it. We talked about connecting, inviting. We talked about following up. We talked about inviting. We talked about social media. We talked about those things. We talked about our purple. Then we talked about our orange, our stories, briefly, and examples of how we fit them into our day without taking up extra time, because these are things that we're already doing. Then, 4th day, we talked about the yellow. I think on day 1, I also added personal development, and I may have added a couple extra bonus things every day, but the main gist was we're just hardcore focusing on our bat. And day 5 was Instagram stories, social media tips, things like that. Then I got them into my coach page. Then I got them into the new coach training, and we kept up with the one-on-one mentorship calls. And those coaches that started in October just graduated to now we do a mastermind call every Thursday at 8:00. And I've now opened up I do 12 and 12:30 mentorship calls. Lunch breaks work for most people, whether they're home or at work. So now I've freed up that time for new coaches that need the one-on-one. I also have all of those original coaches. Any month that you're in the mentorship, that's what chat you go. So I have a October mentorship. Actually, it's coach mentorship graduates. And then I have a new January group. And I will be honest, when I took on those 8 coaches, I kind of slowed down in my recruiting a little bit because I wanted to work with them. This was the first time that I had coaches that actually wanted to work the business. So I went a little slower. So I made sure I hit Success Club, and then I focused on them. So my numbers, I still locked it in for myself, but I wasn't pushing, far and beyond. And now I I have 2 girls pushing on the leg with my husband. And I have one pushing. My strong leg is like uber strong. Like, keep in mind, I'm on my sister's weak leg, and I was like one of the first coaches she ever placed there. So literally everybody in her downline for the last 7 years is on my strong leg. So it pains me to put working coaches on my strong leg, and I'm paying for that now. So don't make that mistake and put it all on your weak leg for the cycles and the volume, because then you'll be sitting here like, So, but then this is the situation we're in. So I have 2 coaches plus my existing husband, Diamond, all on this leg pushing. I'm working with this coach over here. And our plan is that we're just going to slingshot from 1 star to 4 star and qualify all at the same time. But I'm talking with my team about my goals. I have cried with them in several videos, telling them that I cannot do this alone anymore. Telling them that I cannot get any further. I have my mom, but I told them I refuse to make my mom a diamond. I refuse to take my business any further by myself because it's not fulfilling me at that point. And I had to tell my girls that I have to make my goals centered around things other than myself, like giving back and making my girls diamond, making my girls 2-star, and taking them to retreats and things like that, because I feel selfish continuing to take from this business because it's literally given me life. It saved everything that you can save in a person for me. And so I am at the point where I am begging my coaches to take this, to do this, so I can give this to them, because this is the next gift that I want to give. This, the confidence and the freedom that I have in my life that I have never had. So, map it out with your coaches. It's 12 people. So right now we're doing a push to Emerald. It started on Monday. Team-wide, the first person to add 2 coaches to their team they get to pick from the Make Chic Happen social media planner, the Darren Hardy Best Year Ever workbook journal, or the Rise Up planner. I will buy them whatever one they want. I will send it to them. The first coach that adds 2 people to their team this week locks in that prize. We do that once a month. And we started on Monday, and this Thursday we have a coach webinar. So that's what they're inviting to. And there you have it. So do you guys have any questions? I know it was a lot. I hope it was helpful. I just kind of rambled about my story. But, I have a lot of, I want to share with you guys, I literally stayed stuck for 4 years because I thought, I don't know what I thought. It was my own limiting beliefs, but I had, it's just like some people try to tell me I wasn't an alcoholic because I didn't lose my job or lose all these things before I got sober. And you don't have to wait for the bottom to fall out. But my rock bottom was being at that leadership retreat and feeling like I have so much to give. And there was no one. I mean, my team is all my team, and they all love me, and they all accept me, but I'm a sweary, cannabis-loving girl on a faith-based team. I needed my own tribe. Like, I need a tribe that looks like me, that sounds like me, and I have them, but only because I started talking to them and getting vulnerable that I needed people. I have given freely for the last 6 years, and my 2 girls that are pushing for Diamond, the reason they're on my team is because they wanted to help. They felt it from that post. One of them said, the thought of you quitting this made my heart hurt so bad. I knew I couldn't let you. And the other one said, I thought maybe I could be what you needed. And they were. And they've given me life, and they've given me a new fire to this business. So anytime you feel like your fire is going out in this business, you need new coaches who are excited about it. Because maybe the thrill of everything that coaching has given you has worn off a little bit. Like maybe the sting of 2020 was just a little too much, although without coaching or cannabis, I wouldn't have made it through. Legit. But you need to share. You need to tell people where you're going. You need to tell people that you can't do it alone. Like, don't think that you always have to be the person with the answers. Like, open it up and allow people to help you. Like, say you know, talk to the person who you want to run with. Like, who is your ideal teammate? And then also, I have changed up where I'm finding people on Instagram. So I used to, I found an account that is super specific to me. And if you can find one, you will find your people, because the people that I'm connecting and finding to, like, it doesn't take much before I can invite them and genuinely invite them via voice message. I'm going to share this last thing and then I'm going to get off. So everyone, you've probably heard of the color wheel, where you take this color wheel and you fill out like things, and that's how you find your people, right? These are your things about you. I need you to take that one step further. As you can tell, I'm all about the feelings. I'm a two Enneagram here. So I need half of that wheel can be things that you probably already have that on that wheel. I'm a mother, I'm a Christian, like whatever, like my cannabis would be over there, like that's definitely me, like sweary would be over there, like I'm a sweary mom, like all those things, right? That would be over there. I need you to have at least 4 on your other side of your wheel, and I need them to be deep. These are the things that you struggle with. These are the things that you would choose to take to your grave. Those are your gifts. And if no one has ever told you that, I'm sorry. Depression, anxiety. I guess you call a suicide survivor. My best friend committed suicide. I don't really know. Sorry, it's not funny, but that's me. I'm an alcoholic. I have SAD. I've been in a psych ward. Like all of those things. I always thought that those were things that I would take to my grave, that I would never be proud of. Those are the areas in my life where I can truly help someone and make a difference, because they're things that I deal with and fight every single day. And if I am getting through them stronger, then why not share that? Like, so those should also be evident on your social media, in your stories, like your struggles. And if you don't have a way that you've overcome it yet, it's like that super weekend. What is the one thing that's holding you back from the person who you want to be? Maybe it's something that you haven't fixed yet. And maybe that's the next step. Maybe that's why you're stuck. Maybe that's not why you're not diamond or star diamond or 2-star diamond, because you're still stuck in your own way. You're still stuck in a version of you that can't move forward. So sometimes we have to fix what's broken before we can move forward. You can still be broken, but you at least have to have something to offer, right? And sometimes it's a life situation. Like maybe you have a family member that's an addict or an alcoholic and you don't want to like out them. You don't have to, but you can share resources for family members of alcoholics or addicts. You can be a voice. You can be an ally. There's so many things out there that people are struggling with that they don't talk about. And if you are someone that is struggling with something and you are comfortable or able to talk about it, you're giving someone a gift. Like, truly, right? So the account that I follow, so sorry about the swearing on this one, but is @fucking-sober. Because it's literally like, I mean, I could not have found a better account. So obviously they're sweary and they're sober. And so when I'm finding sober women, and here's why I want you to have that side of the wheel. When I'm finding sober women, first of all, I save my Instagram collections. I do have them in separate collections. I always have the month. So right now it's January Friends, but then I have 2 more. So I have January Friends, which are like, meh, maybe we could hang, right? Like, I'm not really sure yet. And then there's Sober Sisters, where I found through a sober page. I know they're sober, so we definitely have that in common, and I need to have that, like, separate. And then there's My Tribe. If I find people who I'm like, oh, yes, like, we could be besties, they go in My Tribe. And so even when I go back into my collections, I'm connecting in a different way in each collection. I'm connecting in a different way with January Friends as I do with my Sober Sisters, as I do with My Tribe, right? So, and if it is a Sober Sister or a tribe member, My invitation is so easy because, one, if you found them through that struggle, they're sharing openly. Someone who is sharing openly about being a domestic violence survivor or a rape victim or an alcoholic or eating disorder recovery, if they're already sharing, that takes strength. That takes strength to share publicly what they're struggling with. You know what else that means? That means they'd probably be a good coach. Not for sure, but if you can share the parts of your life that most people aren't sharing for public accountability, hello, it's one of the hardest things we do. It's one of the hardest things we do is to share the intimate things about your life. So if you're finding people who are already sharing those intimate things, and you're also sharing because you have to have an instant connection when you hook up on social media, right? So you also need to be sharing those things. But then I can easily go in there and invite somebody and be like, hey, congratulations on your sobriety, 2 years, that's freaking amazing. I'm so proud of you. And during a pandemic, so badass. My crew and I are hosting, I don't know if you ever thought about this. I don't even know if you know what I do, but I lead a badass group of women. And this Thursday, we're going to talk about what we do. And I just have to tell you, if you're out there sharing your sobriety, I know you could do what I do, and it fills my cup, and it has helped me. I'm sober because of this opportunity, whatever. Basically, I'm telling them, if you can get yourself sober, you can coach girlfriend. You can coach girlfriend. That is one of the hardest things I've ever done in my life. So I know if someone else can do that, they can do anything. And they might even just believe it. So find your people who struggle with the same things that you struggle with and compliment them and tell them that if they can share that, they might just want to check out what you have to offer. Okay. All right, that's it. That's all I have for you guys if you don't have any questions. And if Kristen doesn't kick me out, I'll hang in the group and I'll check back comments, questions, and I will share the team call that I did because it specifically breaks down examples of how I changed the way I was talking in my stories, of how I changed my posts. So that is a great tool and resource, and I'm happy to share it with you. So I'll share the team call I did from going from the discount queen to top recruiter of working coaches on our team. So in the matter of weeks. So literally, your next rank is a decision that you make. So make the decision and then just don't stop until you get it. Don't stop, get it. And have fun. If you need a freaking mocktail to do it, whatever. But act like you enjoy this business and people will want to do it with you. They don't care what you're doing. They care why you're doing it. The biggest shift that I made was I stopped just sharing team call things and I started sharing why, what we talked about, why I love showing up on a Thursday night, those things. So sometimes it's just shifting the perspective. We get so drawn up in I have to share this, I do this, and it just becomes a daily checking off the box. And sometimes you have to ask yourself what did I need to see? And if you're not asking yourself enough what brought me into this business, you're missing a huge opportunity. For me, it was trips and free stuff. So I'm about to make a post about how another trip was canceled or postponed, and I never thought that I would even be in the position that I would have all these trips canceled because I never traveled. So even something like that, a negative, but I'm turning it into such a positive because I feel blessed and fortunate that we had so many trips that were canceled last year. So there's always a bright side. Have a great day. Go push, go change some lives. Go make yourself the best version of you and share that with the world. That's how we change the lives. That's how we do the things.